out. Click us out.
Yeah.
Turn it over. You don't want it on camera.
I think it's perfect.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nice to see you when one of them's not in trouble.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna break the girl.
We're out.
We're out. You shut down? Wow.
Yeah, are you, no, no. Okay, taking that one.
Oh, is that part of the problem?
You bet, sure.
That helps.
There you go.
Just feels like you're in a cave or something.
Maybe it keeps the kids calmer. I'll sit it down.
Class, I think.
Yeah, I saw how they were. Yeah,
The music building.
he said they'd be done about 8, so. I don't know where.
Oh, just hang on. That's all right. High school and so this different high school is 7%. High school is 4%.
So they combine those two and they divide it by two. And so, so this is one of those positions sharing, basically sharing that person with. And how they split up the duties. I do not know. Yeah. Yeah. We have that. That's fair.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. We'll start with the student of the month presentation.
The student of the month, our character trait was respect, which is the due regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others. Green, which one is Lennon? She's going to go. Lennon, you ready to come up here? Come right up here. So Lennon is in first grade. Lennon is such a respectful student in my class. She follows the rules and routines that are set out for the class. She goes with the flow and never argues. She is always so respectful to her classmates and friends. She does not exclude anyone when it is time to play. She is always polite and shows gratitude when giving something special. She is truly a joy to have around, in large part of her respectful personality. Congratulations. In third grade, we have Knightley. Don't hide. Knightley exemplifies respect in every aspect of her day. She is always calm and composed, never disruptive, and treats everyone, peers and adults alike, fairly and equally. She is consistently kind, thoughtful, and receptive to adult guidance, often responding with maturity beyond her years. Knightley is always ready to lend a helping hand, offering support when others need it. Respect in children looks like what Knightley demonstrates every day, listening attentively when others speak, using kind words even in difficult situations, ensuring everyone feels included, taking care of shared spaces, and showing empathy for others' feelings. Knightley is truly a role model of respect. Fifth grade, we have Abby. Abby shows respect in all situations. She uses please and thank you in the classroom, and that is very important to me. She never complains about what isn't asked of her. She raises her hand when she has an answer to a question or something to share with the class. She shows respect for herself and everyone around her. I also love that Abby looks at me in the eyes when I am talking to her and doesn't have excuses for something she has fallen short on or forgot at home. All character traits are important, but respect is at the top of the list in my book, and Abby was also at the top of my list when I began this search for a fifth grader who truly owns this trait. Thank you, Abby, for being respectful and always showing respect in your words and actions. So usually would meet me right out here, so I take a picture of you, and then tomorrow they have lunch at the student of the month table. They can bring family and invite a home.
And then you guys are welcome to stay or.
Welcome to stay, you're welcome to go, take a picture on the way out. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Congratulations.
Honey, did you say thank you?
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right, go on to Disney delegate. Introduce yourselves. I know we know who we are, but we'll start over. Thank
Drew Williams.
you all for coming. And agenda items, changes, additions, or deletions.
We're gonna move, the student board representative report to top of the report,
Okay. Anything else? Public input? Okay, consent agenda, minutes and bills paid. Questions? Been moved and seconded to consent agenda, minutes and bills paid. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. 3.0 reports, student board representative report.
Girls basketball. Varsity girls ended up winning second place at the state tournament, ended the year 27-5. Whitney, Olivia, Jet, and Maddie were named all league, and Coach Sweet was coach of the year for the Oregon League Region Division. Yesterday, all state voting came out, and Whitney, Olivia, and Jet were named for their respective all state teams. Boys basketball. Boys finished the year 6-19 and made the district tournament, losing on the road in the first round. Pedro Rivas was named all league. Wrestling. Anthony Palace won districts and made it to the state tournament, where he finished in second at 157 pounds. Junior high wrestling. Judd McCray and Devin Fry both made it to the junior high state wrestling. Devin Fry finished in second. High school track. Currently, 41 high school athletes are out for track. First meet is in Ontario this Friday, beginning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Junior high track. As of the first practice yesterday, there are 39 junior high athletes out. Their first meet is in Union on April 3rd, beginning at 10 a.m. Our softball team is co-opting with the Grand. We currently have 3 athletes participating. The first varsity contests are this weekend in Boise. First JV softball contest will be on March 28th in the Grand. Battle of the Blues. Great girls tournament last weekend can't happen without lots of the help from volunteers, parents, kids, and the community. We hosted 30 teams, grades 3 through 8, over 3 days. We are appreciative of the use of Co's facility on Saturday to help get all the games.
Thank you. To item A, Intermountain ESD talking points.
The talking points this month are still talking about the graduation rates for the IMESD service districts, and so they do a flyer about that. And if you're in the IMESD, 92% has a graduation rate of 92%. Our non-component schools, which are the ones that are not in the ESD that have opted out, are at 80%. So obviously, I look at for the IME ESD districts. State average is 83%. They were celebrating at our last superintendent meeting the 100% graduation, and they were surprised to know that we have more graduation requirements in the 24. They were surprised. Or it was basic 24 graduation. I think our students are well prepared. But they wanted to just kind of highlight that there is some good things going on in school.
This report through.
Transportation is Mike is finished his training on those routes, so he's now been trained on both our Uber routes and the brand routes. Little changes those have, so he's now able to help us with any subbing needs when Ron's not available. So it's gonna be nice. Maintenance wise, reach out to Ted, get ready for our first spray of the year for weeds and stuff. And reach out to Kale for try to get the rest of our underground electrical issues, underground sprinklers finished, hopefully before we have to turn them on. We have gotten the rest of our bait detectors installed throughout the school. Bleachers on the visitor side, the assembly has been started. Then over spring break, we're gonna look at finishing some projects that we did not get done over the summer in the second, sixth grade classrooms. Service some of our HVAC systems from the winter, filters and cleanings, and work on getting some the wall, the doors for the supply room done. And right now, I am looking, if anybody knows, if anybody might have one that I can borrow from the skid steer tractor, a way that I can aerate the football field and some yards. I've called about everybody I know, including East Running Around, nobody had them. So,
I just looked at my yard today. Might be a good idea. So,
I can't find
they don't have one.
East Running Around used to have them, and I called Josh, and it just got to be something that wasn't used, it wasn't very called on, so they just kind of got rid of it, and I was just, dang.
What about this, like LeGrand School District or the City of LeGrand Park?
I have not called LeGrand the parks.
Maybe they'd let us.
I'll call them, see if parks, and them, see if they got something. We can use on a tractor, it doesn't need to be very big. Just something like either plug type or even just spear type, just something.
You probably all have one.
In the past, yeah, from what I've been told, it hasn't been done since Mark was here. And so, yeah, Mark got one for East Running Rental before. He had a plug type that he.
Are you doing, are you looking to do the aeration or the, okay, so that's the one that does the plug.
Yeah,
I've seen those up at the college, they must have.
yeah, they might.
Yeah.
Either plug or just spear type, just something to help with drainage. We got some spots that would definitely help with.
I've got some contact at college. I could try there if you want to try LeGrand.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that is all I have. If you guys have any questions.
Electrical issues on the sprinklers.
Yeah, so ever since I came here, we've been battling that controller over there. Just for some reason, it'll kick out. I've had Kill here probably 20 times working on it. We've ran wires. He's eliminated things that we put solenoids in. We've spent hundreds of dollars changing out electrical components and everything else. And at the end, we thought we had it for about 3 weeks, and then at the end of the year, it started kicking out on us again. So we were doing it all by manual. So talked to some the guy. It's not a KIE anymore, unfortunately. Visited with him and Kale last year towards the end of the year, and his solution was one was either start rewiring everything, which was going to be very or what our baseball field has out here, the sprinklers that were put in the senior project out there, just put in controllers type they're in the boxes with the batteries and eliminate the wire issues, all the wires that are running underground and go that route. So
I've got about 6 of those and they work really good.
that's what Kale said. He's been doing that a lot, and so because to get me a final price on those. Because right now it's like they work and then he'll come in over the weekend and then who knows they run all weekend. So but that was their solution. The guy from KIE just like put those in. A lot of guys are using them. They sound to be way better than the ones mounted on the walls and stuff. So I think that's the route we're gonna go for those.
The only thing I had was, I really think we need to get some kind of like PVC or conduit on these gutters out here. Because I came over here and when it was raining and all of the water is, I think we talked about it last year. You know, the bank is higher around the school. And so all that water is sitting there and it's got to go underneath the foundation.
Are you talking about the downspouts? So yeah, we've had what, 2 people here, Andy? We've had 2 guys show up, give us bids. We said, yeah, let's get it done. And nobody showed up.
Well,
So if you have,
I would go get a piece of that 3-inch conduit and in October, put it in there. And in May, before you start mowing, take it out.
okay, yeah,
And I mean, it would take about, I mean, you've already got all the stuff. And I mean, I don't think you necessarily have to go dig. Are you talking about digging and?
No, I was just gonna have, like the one that's on the end, I go over here, the only one that's that way, it's just kind of an extension. And then, it's pretty sweet, it's an extension piece, and then when you go to mow, it just folds up and it's just riveted. But, and the only thing I ran into was like, obviously, that's bigger than most of the guys carry, so they had to order it in. So yeah, I was just having, had 10 or 11 extensions that I was gonna have made. And like I told him, I got rivet, and I can rivet them on, if you can just,
You need to be out there at least 10 feet, though, or they 10 feet long.
I think we've done, I think I said 8 feet or something like that, is what I'd asked for.
Well, not getting more rain for a while, but if we do, I would just go get some of that PVC because it was a massive amount. It can't go anywhere because it's
Yeah,
it's
if you
made
look at
up.
like, if you look out the Evers classroom, in here, that was just a big hole that was, 2 foot by 3 feet deep, and I filled it full. You can see it's full of gravel, and I filled it full of gravel. And that's how it was. It was just,
But the problem is that it keeps getting away from the building, right? And so no matter
It's
what,
tough.
you can learn more stuff there.
it's
It's
just
not,
not there.
it's not going anywhere. It's gonna go back under the building. So.
No. Yeah, we can just do
Well,
pipe,
they can go.
yeah. Like I said, I can just get some pipe and do it that way unless I'll do down your gutters for leaving the track.
Gutters.
You had a guy come to gutters on the.
Oh,
gutters.
yeah. Trying to get him to do my garage and that worked very good either.
Oh.
So I wouldn't do that,
Okay.
but, that's one done, I guess. But in the short term, I think just getting some 3-inch PVC pipe and laying it out there in the fall and leave it till it start mowing. That would take care of a lot of it. All right, anything else? We're done with that principal activity report, Mike.
Start off just a recap on our forecasting day, organized by Mr. Ken with the help of our high school staff, getting all the different entities here. What I just handed out is all the different career tracks that our students got to visit. 6 of them at least. It was a very successful time. A lot of the feedback we got from last year's class, we added some of those career tracks on this year's. And once again, we'll survey this year's kids to see what they would like to have in the future. 32 of our FFA students are headed out tomorrow for their state convention in Redmond. FBLA State Conference is scheduled for April 8th through the 11th. 15 students are expected to make this trip to Eugene. This is a welcome change of venue from the previous Lloyd Center in downtown Portland. The end of the third quarter is Thursday. We have a teacher workday this Friday. Grades are due in the office on Monday when we return from spring break. Parent-teacher conferences are scheduled for Wednesday, April 1st from 4 to 8, and again on Thursday from 5:30 to 8. The high school will be sending out, once again, invites to parents of students that have B's or F's for the third quarter. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Superintendent report.
Yeah, Mike kind of talked about parent-teacher conferences. Remember at the elementary in the fall, we don't have school, we do not have school in the spring. So ours is by invitation of the ones we need to meet with, and then anybody else who wants to meet. But they are scheduled, but we don't meet with all the parents during this time. We have started to get bids for, up at the facilities committee meeting about the better security in our buildings. So we have started to get some bids for a car door opening security system. Where they would need to be built in high school and elementary, but program the doors. Similar to what Elgin, North Powder, all the schools around are doing. That way keys can be in the car, if somebody's using the gym that day, we can give them a key. And just deactivate that key or that thing. There's keys out there. It might be able to get rid of some of those master keys here. Nobody knows where they're at. So that's something, I think the first bid we got was for the egg building front door. the elementary front door, back of the kitchen at the elementary, so that the food guys that come early in the morning can get there. The front door at the high school, and then the back by the new locker room, so if we have somebody come in that way, use the gym, not necessarily be in the school, use the locker room for the bathrooms, and then go out that way, so. Those are the ones that are about $14,000 through.
Yeah, around 14.
So it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be, but that's, we didn't do a whole bunch of doors either, so. We can talk about that a little bit later. We asked Alpine to give us another bid, and, this bid is from something. At the elementary, we're planning a family night, movie and dance. Ken Miller's kind of gathered a few parent volunteers. We're gonna have this event on April 10th, Friday, April 10th. A movie for anybody who wants to watch the movie, a dance for me. Something that used to happen. And turn it back. Third graders will start their swimming lessons on April 6th. The testing begins in April. A few other field trips are planned. Fifth grade's gonna do fish dissection on Thursday, so that should be a snow. Looking at projections for enrollment next year, we have quite a few on our incoming kindergarten list. Looking more and more likely that will be around 20 kindergartners, 11 this year. We also got some commitments from about 5 students to join that class, that kindergarten class, that'll be split in the first grade up to 16. We still losing at the junior high and school level, so those are hard to add. We also got word that we have 3 new in-district students for our 6th grade. Actually, a pretty big class, because our 5th graders this year, 6th grade next year, and they're not all 3 in. They'll be joining us next year. Bob finished their season. We had a competition in front of the elementary student body, which was kind of fun. Our students put down an effort to do that competition. Then they had another competition on Tuesday night, Tuesday, March 3rd, to declare our champion, and then our champion went to regionals this past Saturday. The only round they were seeded ninth, and then they lost in the round of 16. Those kids gave up multiple lunches, also had practices after school, so it's quite an undertaking. I don't know if you've ever watched Bob, but those kids do a pretty good job. It's quite impressive. That's all I got.
With the locking doors and security, what would be our plan as far as between classes and what we see it best working for?
So you can program it between classes, that you could go 5 minutes before the bell rings, 5 minutes after the bell rings. Chrissy, I thought would have the hardest time, because it's high school, it's usually the ones going back and forth. She said it would actually be better, because now I'll know where students are. Some should know they're locked, and usually know if they're going to the parking lot, or skipping class, or if they're going to the ag building, or what. So now she'll have an idea. And I thought she would be the most pressing, but they have to buzz in if it's after.
Grade school, when they come over for PE, teacher will just have a card and come in, or Darcy will be another board.
And they don't buzz to get out, but they buzz to
They
get
have to do that.
Building, it usually takes them a little bit longer to get over here. And I think, don't call me, that's because they can't hear the bell over there. Is that something that can be improved so that they get class on time? They still might be behind.
They still might be behind. I don't know about the bell, and
We can say there is too.
the first I kind of heard what, so.
You know, for the extra money, we can put the, like, intercom with the camera style. So like, you can also do that style, so like for JD in the ag building, and then for over here, like they buzz in, they would show Christie who it is too. So that they can just buzz in and out that way too.
But we can look at the bell. There's no reason it doesn't ring over there.
When they're in the greenhouse is what I'm thinking.
Oh,
So the bell can be placed on.
I can
Just the outside.
but he would not have a buzzing system on it, so that would be, might be a little bit more, maybe 15 minutes to go in, whatever. So we got used to be 30 people that.
Any other questions? Old business track project update.
You guys had a meeting.
Yeah, that's working on the sign, and I think they can work with you guys on placement of that and figured out, what they want to do as far as building materials and what it's gonna look like. And so forth. So for those that don't know, it sounds like that area where the concrete that goes up into the new bleachers between there and the asphalt will be basically kind of like a cinder block wall. It'll be the same block that like we used at the grade school, the cultured stone kind of rough textured block on that block. There'll be the bronze stone recognition, and then I think they talked about having like track state titles or like the fast time frame or maybe doing cross country on the other side. So still kind of a little bit.
Bleachers are supposed to be on
Monday.
Monday of every single day for installation. Rival and installation starting on the big bleachers. So they're gonna start next week too, no? Yeah, it's supposed to be. The message I got, it's from Ian. You're right, Monday, and it can start Monday.
Hopefully they know what they're doing. They said one day, but
They said
Wow.
they put those together in one day.
that's what they said, that's what Ian told me.
They do it one day, it's saying what they're doing.
Well, I think because we did the far side, I don't know if you're looking. at the
I
far side.
understand.
I don't think they finished that today.
No, they didn't finish it, that's what I'm saying. It's taking a little bit more than one day.
Nobody's doing
Oh,
It's concreted down.
Put them together and you're done, and you still got a few more pieces left over. Where do these go?
They always send extra pieces.
They didn't send the right one, so. So maybe this.
How are they gonna anchor bleachers for when?
Well, the new ones are gonna go, they'll get epoxied into the concrete.
More on the far side, we pinned into the little streaky wall. Cement things.
I wonder if they-
But really what happened in our. losing the bleachers, down. No, the wind didn't flip the whole thing over, it pushed it back, but I think that it started leaning and that. The other one was almost there.
That was a long night. It actually worked out in our favor.
Yes, but.
Yeah. If you guys, when you guys leave, if you look at this far side, I mean, it's an elevated 5 road, so. Took Tony and them out there today, you stand on the back. The 5th row, I mean, not even the 5th row, I mean, any of the rows, I mean, you're looking down on the field, it actually looks a lot better, really.
It's like if we meant to do it.
Yeah, it looks really nice, I mean, Tony took video, and he was like, wow, this is really nice for the visitor side, I think that. Hopefully,
Four steps to
A
go.
lot of visitors.
hopefully this one on this side turns out better.
Yeah.
There's steps going up, there's actually steps on both sides, we're gonna have to widen pad at some point eventually. Put the second staircase on, because it's just by hanging one staircase on, and then the bleachers, it was right at the edge on their sides, we're gonna have to widen that a little bit to get the other staircase on. But you walk in, yeah. Nice large platform, and it'll be, it's all elevated up from there. And once it's done, the center section where you walk up has a rail too, for anybody that needs a railing to get up. I mean, it'll be all chain linked around. See some trees on the right that are probably gonna have to be trimmed, because now that we're sitting in the back 2 rows, you're like, you can't see the ends on the side.
Great. So really, there's not much going on with that. So, working on. We've got, I guess the only other thing is the press box. Joe Fisher is gonna come back and draw us a set up. And engineer stamp them, so we'll be ready to see about getting somebody to do that maybe over the summer. And he's here for 3 3 weeks and gone for 3 weeks, so he should be back here pretty soon. He said he would work on it. And that's about it. New business, SEI filing requirement.
I just wanted to remind you guys, and you should have all received it, so you have until April 15th to complete that.
Approve 2026-27 personnel recommendations.
As far as I know, we've had nobody that needs resign.
I move to approve the 26-27 personnel recommendations.
I'll second.
Then moved and seconded to approve the 2026-27 staff recommendations. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Approve staff resignation.
Leah is had a baby, so she's not going to.
Yeah. And then to approve or accept the resignation.
I'll second.
Then moved and seconded to approve Talia's staff resignation as junior high track coach. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Approve staff hiring. Jennifer Yancey and
So is one of those a new position?
The track coaches have been putting them.
Well, I guess actually we should have,
Because
I don't know.
Leah is the one that Leah.
No, we had a student teacher last year
Okay.
that filled this position, the assistant junior high track coach. She's out of the area now. I'm not sure where she's at now. So we didn't have a resignation from her, but she's not here. And so this isn't a new position.
Okay.
We're just filling that position.
Your question.
Who is technically the head junior high track?
So I was just telling Kager, track, we have head high school coach, which is Heidi, assistant high school coach, which is Barry. And then there was another assistant high school coach and a head track coach, which would have been Talia and then Heather Howard. So to make the pay more equitable, the assistant position was allocated at 7%, and the head junior high position was allocated at 4%. So to make the pay more equitable, because the responsibilities were similar, they lumped those two together and divided it by 2, so they each get 5.5%. So, and then that left the 2% for the assistant junior high track coach. I don't know exactly how they divvy the duties up.
Heather, I'm running one.
Their actual duties are based on their expertise. So when it's wrong, the longest.
Usually,
That's mainly what Leah was the throwing coach. Yeah.
and it seems to me that usually either if you had a high school track meet and a junior high track meet on the same day, Barry would go to one, or
Right.
Heidi would go to the other. It's kind of what I never remember seeing it.
So Jennifer Yancey, junior high, that's gonna be the junior high position you said?
I
It's
think she's
part-
technically high school, she's doing the throwing, I think.
So 3 high school and 1 junior high.
Well, I mean, there's
Four.
two, there's, yeah, one of those is considered head junior high as well, but I don't, whether it be Jennifer or Heather. I think they just all
I think they.
go where the
I
need
think
is.
Jennifer would be helping with both the high school and the junior throwers. I think that's what. what- That's just what I've seen take place.
Yeah.
Any other questions on that?
How many total track positions in between junior and high school? There's five. I moved to Bruce staff hiring with Christina for Nancy, assistant track coach, and Kelsey Overton, assistant junior high track coach. Also,
Moved and seconded to approve Jennifer Yancey and Kelsey Overton. Coaching positions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve budget committee appointment.
Well, I posted it on Facebook, I posted it on the website. If I sent it out to everyone, and we got two applicants, one that does not live in the district and one that lives in the district. So we really only have one valid applicant because you have to be a registered voter in the district. So Shirley Alley. Okay. She on the road, has a second grader. And has some accounting background. Willing to serve.
So do we still?
So, I mean, technically, we have one vacant position still unless.
I reached out to the friend and she said that sounds like my husband's job and he needs to volunteer and I hoped they were gonna follow up. That's not working.
She just said today she don't know if she can handle two grandchildren, so she was saying about.
Let's give her a break. She won't be working much of that.
Take care of it.
So, I mean, we have before had a vacant position. With this very, be able to get her to go again, but I think, I mean, it's fine. Probably. We still have time to appoint someone at the next meeting.
There's a couple people. Just a little more, but
Okay.
would move to approve through Alley.
Then moved and seconded to approve Sheree Alley on the budget committee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Thank you for the executive session. Thank you all for coming.
Give the update,
So we TA'd on some things.
we started classified so far. Certified is Tuesday, spring break. And then our next meeting is classified as Thursday. So we're probably pretty far off money wise right now. But we also are, just so you guys know, custodial in the 5 county school districts, we are the lowest. Top end. Cook is the 4th lowest. Out of 5, but the 5th one's also negotiated this year. Paras were the 4th lowest, but 5th one's. And our library, we are the lowest. Steps that have. Steps. We don't use some money we did. So that's where we're kind of at. Don't know what they'll come back with. Next, there's a break, but.
Human is a problem before. The big problem is if you give them people something, and all these other people want something.
Is some of the issue. One counterbalance to that is if you give somebody that's $80,000 a 3% raise, and somebody that's $20,000 a 3% and the gap between those people is increasing. So we'll continue to increase that gap. So we most likely are going to probably have to revamp this scale. Initially sell it as revamp salary scale.
I think that would be good.
And then we can come back to 3%, after we revamp the salary scale. Their big talking point, OSEA, obviously, is living wage. That's what they kept talking about. But number crunching, and there are every single one of our employees classified and make a living wage based on their situation, except for two. So, that really isn't the talking point. The talking point, if you just look at, then you start looking at our employees, 0 kids. And this living wage is different than this living wage. Or 2 people working in the household, just living wage is $16. So, I mean, that's just where we're at as far as arguing, not arguing, but we did TA insurance, which is. And then there wasn't a lot of language that they wanted, or we wanted, so we're basically just, they basically asked for
For vacation, paid vacation days, and we took that off the board, and they seemed to absorb that.
So how much you're very asking for money.
throughout the 3 years, it's about 20. The way they originally,
555.
they wanted to add some stuff, which is 2.8 each time you move the staff, so that's over 5 right there, and then they asked for 5.5, so I'm talking on 20, and then we counted back at 2.5, I think, 2.5, 2.5, without revamping the salary scale. That's exactly where my mind is to see what they're gonna do to come down, because they haven't come down on salary. Right? So if they don't, then we'll put it off, we'll say, okay, well, if we revamp the salary scale. Do that, but that's what.
I have a question, since I'm not familiar with what the contracts look like. When you mentioned extra vacation days, how many, like, what does their weekly schedule look like? What are their hours? Week, and then how many vacation days do they get throughout the year?
It's on job. They were asking for us to pay them for another, is what they want. They want more vacation days. I think they get 6 or 5. We pay them for 5, 6 holidays. They wanted 7. They wanted the day after Thanksgiving and Christmas to be paid and not wait. Put that off the table. That was their 2 extra. So we talked about vacation. We want to be paid Thanksgiving and that. They wanted to be. Two salaries. All that. They were too pushing it too hard.
I think it was just, that was something that they could.
I think our custodian first 2 years, they get a week. 2 weeks for 3, 7 or 8.
And they get.
Is that all that in the contract? Yeah, so you can get online on the website and actually you can find the contract on the website. Okay.
If you look under the staff, there's a staff link, click on staff, and you can both the lights and stand.
I think. settle a certain. I'm leasing those wheels.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is, how many students have taken the last year, over 30 students? You know, our estimate is based on 286 students for this upcoming year, which is down, and so we're down $187,000 on our estimate. So how? Yeah. Huh? I thought that was hot.
It will not be 20.
Which when you look at where we are sitting with the rest of the county, and they are low, and
That changed pretty rapidly.
it did,
2
because,
years ago, that was not the case.
well, I think with our 3-year contract, yeah, when we settled 3 years ago, we were in pretty good shape, but everyone else negotiated last year.
And to put in perspective, if we gave a 5% revamp salary scale, it's gonna cost us an extra, what I say, $20,000.
Mhm.
That's supposed to be.
No, it shouldn't.
Nobody asked to record it.
Wondering that too.
Yeah, it just dawned on me, it was still going.
I have never had